Welcome back to our journey through Hogwarts. Today, we're diving into the heart-stopping conclusion of the Sorcerer's Stone. The final plan is in motion, and the fate of the wizarding world hangs in the balance. As late autumn cast a chill over Hogwarts, the castle grew quieter, but the tension was thicker than ever. In the library, Harry, Ron, and Hermione huddled over fragments of clues they'd gathered about the Sorcerer's Stone. Hermione, ever the strategist, had a map of the castle spread out. "Look here," she pointed. "All signs point to the third-floor corridor. Someone is planning to get to the stone, and they're starting from there." Ron shifted uneasily. "That's where we almost got turned into a three-headed dog's chew toy. What's different now?" Just then, a sharp, familiar pain shot through Harry's scar. He knew with a chilling certainty. "I think Voldemort, or someone working for him, is going for the stone tonight. We can't let that happen." The trio knew they had to act. They split up their tasks. Hermione buried herself in books, researching defensive spells and magical protections. Ron became their eyes and ears, scouting the corridors and watching for anything out of the ordinary.
Terry.
He relied on his instincts, focusing on the stone itself, feeling its pull and the danger surrounding it. They found empty classrooms to practice spells, their whispers echoing in the quiet halls, strengthening their teamwork with every passing hour. The air crackled with anticipation. Harry could feel it in his bones. The final showdown was coming. That very evening, as they patrolled near the forbidden third-floor corridor, their fears were confirmed. Faint footsteps and hushed whispers echoed from behind the locked door. Harry signaled for them to hide in the shadows. A cloaked figure moved with stealthy purpose toward the chamber housing the stone. "That's him," Harry breathed. "He's finally making his move." Ron's hands trembled, but he stood his ground. "Are we really going to do this?" "Try to stop him." Hermione's voice was firm, cutting through their fear. "We don't have a choice. If we don't protect the stone, Hogwarts itself is in grave danger." With their resolve hardened, they began the chase. They followed the intruder through a maze of twisting corridors and secret staircases, their steps silent. The figure moved with an eerie familiarity, expertly sidestepping magical traps and hidden barriers that guarded the way. It was clear this person knew the castle's secrets. Finally, they arrived at the final door, the one leading to the Sorcerer's Stone. As the intruder approached, the protective spells around it flared to life, shimmering with power. "It's now or never," Harry whispered, his heart pounding. "Trust each other and be brave." The chamber beyond was not empty. It was a gauntlet of magical trials. Hundreds of enchanted keys fluttered in the air like metallic birds, only one of which would unlock the next door. A giant chessboard stood waiting, its stone pieces ready to attack any who dared to cross. And finally, there were logic riddles woven into spells demanding not just intelligence, but courage. This was where their teamwork truly shone. Hermione, with her brilliant mind, unraveled the riddles. Ron, a chess prodigy, commanded the giant pieces, sacrificing himself for the greater good. And Harry, the gifted seeker, soared through the air on his broom, dodging the swarm of keys to snatch the correct one. Each obstacle tested their loyalty, intelligence, and bravery, the very qualities Hogwarts was built on. At last, Harry burst through the final door and stood in the last chamber. There, on a pedestal, bathed in an ethereal glow, was the Sorcerer's Stone. But he wasn't alone. The cloaked figure stood before it, and as he turned, the hood fell back to reveal the pale, twitching face of Professor Quirrell. "Step aside, boy," Quirrell stammered, his voice trembling, "or I will take the stone by force." But as he spoke, Harry noticed a dark, shadowy form shifting on the back of Quirrell's head, whispering sinister threats. The horrifying truth hit him. Voldemort was possessing Quirrell, using his own professor as a vessel to regain his power. Harry raised his wand, but Quirrell lunged. The room erupted in a blinding clash of spells. In that chaotic moment, Harry remembered everything he had learned at the lessons of friendship, the power of love. He focused not on fighting, but on protecting the stone. Acting on pure instinct, he reached out and touched Quirrell's face. Quirrell let out a blood-curdling scream, recoiling as if burned. The shadowy form of Voldemort hissed in agony. Weakened by Harry's pure heart and the protective magic his mother had left him, the stone pulsed with light, shielding Harry from the dark magic. Quirrell collapsed to the floor, lifeless. Voldemort's spirit shrieked and fled the chamber, leaving only silence in its wake. Exhausted but safe, Harry stood victorious. He realized that the castle's protections, combined with his own courage and the loyalty of his friends, had saved the day. Just then, Ron and Hermione rushed in, throwing their arms around him. "We did it," Ron exclaimed, still shaking. "We stopped Voldemort." Harry managed a faint smile. "Yes, but I have a feeling this is only the beginning." Back in the Gryffindor common room, the fire crackled as the trio reflected on the night. They had faced unimaginable danger, outsmarted ancient magic, and stood against the darkest wizard of their time. Hermione spoke softly. "This year has taught us more than any class: magic, courage, and friendship. That's what will see us through anything." Ron nodded in agreement. "I suppose that means next year will be even worse then." A gentle throb from Harry's scar served as a constant reminder that Voldemort was still out there. But for the first time, he felt ready. He had his friends, he had his courage, and he had the magic of Hogwarts on his side. Together, they could face whatever came next. Thank you for joining us for this incredible finale. What a year at Hogwarts! If you enjoyed this chapter of our magical adventure, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what happens next. Until next time, stay magical.